All right, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. We have got some more amazing video footage for you guys today. And once again, my voice is still half gone, so I will do my best to speak clearly. However, when I saw this footage, I said I gotta get this up, and that, people, is dedication to your work. So, I always get emails from people talking about the sun, and that they've seen things around the sun, things coming from the sun. There's been footage out there of objects captured around the sun, and I honestly believe that there are spacecraft out there that are using suns like ours and harnessing their energy in order to fuel their ships. Now, before you call me nutty, and for one thing, if you think I'm nutty, then you shouldn't even be a fan of this channel, because that's all we post is so-called nutty stuff. However, the truth is much stranger than fiction. I guarantee it. So we're going to show you some evidence in this video, and maybe by the end of it, you won't think I'm so crazy. But I know most of you guys are enlightened about these things, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So, I got an email from someone who was taking some video of a star, nighttime star, with their telescope. And they were basically just holding their camera up to the eyepiece on the telescope, trying to record this star. And they emailed me, and it was about an 8-minute video they sent me. And they said, well, she said, actually, the source, whose name, by the way, is Gail Farley, and said that at about the 2-minute mark in the video, she saw something very strange that looked to be leaving the star. Now, the footage is a little bit shaky because she is holding her cell phone camera over the viewfinder. But again, there is something that seems to be leaving this star. And we will go ahead and let you watch it, and then we will go ahead and analyze it. So stay tuned. Alright, so what you just saw is a star through the telescope where there is most definitely something leaving the star, up in the upper right portion of this star. Now, although the star is very blurry due to its distance and due to the Earth's atmosphere, which this light has to filter down through before it reaches the telescope, but it doesn't matter because we can still clearly make out a massive, this object would have to be massive. And it reminds me of another piece of footage showing another one of these massive objects sucking energy from our sun, which I will show you in a minute. But first, I want you to look at this. We'll zoom in for you and give you a better view of this thing, whatever it is, that again looks to be pulling away from the star, and it leaves behind it what looks like a string of energy coming from the star before finally releasing and moving upwards away from the star. It sits there for a few moments before then disappearing. And we are showing you the zoomed in shot now. Look at this thing. Look at this thing come up from this star. And again, this is the same exact thing that happened back in 2012 when we recorded this object here, sucking plasma from the sun, and as it pulled away from our sun, you see this massive band of plasma attached to the UFO that finally releases from the sun, and the UFO, this massive circular UFO, probably 20, and this object that you're seeing in this NASA footage of the sun, SOHO footage, is about 20 times the size of Earth. That's how big this thing is. And we're showing you multiple angles here of it. And here are some still frames of it. And again, we, for reference, showed you here a scale of the Earth to the object, just to show you how massive this one was, captured in 2012. And just like this new footage, we see this massive band attached to the object before finally releasing as the object pulls away from this star. And here it is again, zoomed in and moving at about 50% speed. So we're slowing it down, and, well, yeah, you just watch. Here the thing comes, slowly pulling up with a band attached to it. The band releases. Just like in the other piece of footage, we see the object slowly moving up and away from the star, reflecting light for a few moments before finally disappearing into the darkness of space. Now, I am trying to identify what star this was. The source said she's not sure. She was just focusing in on a star, a bright star she saw in the sky. She's located in Spokane, Washington, and she was lucky enough to capture this astounding piece of video, and, you know, was there at the right time, the right place, at the right moment, and on the right star. And that does not happen often, and especially when it comes to the star or our own sun. It's very difficult to catch these UFOs because, again, you've got to be there at just the right time. And this is just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Look at this thing raising up from this star. And again, this thing would have to be massive, at least as large as the massive circular object from 2012 that was sucking energy from our sun. And just, man, I'm blown away. I am simply blown away. I'll tell you what it is. It's probably another object harnessing the energy from another star out there in the galaxy. These things are out there, people, I'm telling you. And just the fact that we see this object with this massive band of plasma coming from the sun, which looks identical to the 2012 SOHO footage, where again we have another of one of these magnetic bands of plasma attached to the UFO, because again it looks to be pulling plasma from the sun. The plasma band then releases, snaps back to the sun, and the object moves away, which is identical in each clip here that we're showing you in this new footage and of the old NASA SOHO footage. And speaking of UFOs around the sun, this certainly isn't the first time. Now, this is definitely some of the best footage, but that's not to say there isn't other footage out there and still images that we have where these objects have appeared on time-lapse footage of our own sun. And we're showing you some of those images here. So we will let you see some of these images showing these craft of all shapes and sizes around our sun. Some of them very detailed, some of them are in just extremely odd shapes and formations, triangular shapes, circular shapes. We have some more images of these massive circular objects. As a matter of fact, here are some more images showing these massive circular objects taken when they were hovering near the sun. They weren't attached to the sun, as you were seeing in the past footage, but they were near it, as you're seeing here. And again, these things are massive. 20 to 50 to even 100 times the size of Earth in some cases. And you'll see these things enter the camera's view. We have multiple probes up there watching our sun, and you will see these massive circular objects come into view. They're very eerie, and they'll sit there, and sometimes they'll move out of frame, sometimes they'll simply disappear, sometimes they'll look to be sucking energy from our sun, and it's just mind-boggling. The activity that is happening just off of our planet, in our own solar system. I mean, we've showed you that on this channel. You know, forget what's going out in interstellar space. I mean, we have activity happening right here. We have a packed, busy highway of UFO activity happening in our solar system, around our own planet, around our own sun, and around other planets and moons in our solar system. Just watch our past videos to see for yourself. And we have all of these other objects captured around the sun, as you're seeing here. And all you have to do is Google UFO next to the sun to see thousands of still images taken from the SOHO, the helio viewer, as well as amateur photographers, telescopes, you name it, infrared video. I mean, it's all there. And it's up to you whether you want to open up your eyes and your mind and consider the fact, especially if you're a skeptic, because as I've learned over the years, it's extremely hard to please some people. And no matter how much evidence you show, you will still have haters. You will still have people who do not believe, will not believe, refuse to believe. And you just got to open your eyes, guys. You just got to open your mind and consider the impossible and unlearn all the nonsense that you've heard on the mainstream news and in mainstream science even, telling you that we are not alone, but that we haven't had any proof of contact yet. That's nonsense. That is complete nonsense. So unlearn all of that nonsense and open your eyes to what we've presented on this channel and others have presented. So again, back to this original footage. It's simply amazing. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. I mean, this is some legit telescopic footage taken in Spokane, Washington. You know, you're out looking at your telescope, you zoom in on a star, and you catch something like this. And you get it out there, and then you come to find out that there is other footage from our own sun that looks almost damn near identical to this, in the way this UFO is acting, in the way it pulls this plasma away from the sun. And yeah, so we have successfully, in my opinion, linked these two separate videos together and have proven that it's not only our sun that these objects are interacting with. So big, special, heartfelt thanks to Gail Farley for emailing me and for being a stargazer and skywatcher, just like me and just like all of you out there. So again, let me know what you guys think. Amazing footage. Be sure to stop back by because we've got a lot more coming. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. All of the info is down in the video description. Contact me if you have your own footage. And yeah, thanks for watching. Stick around and stay safe.